Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Lady Layer. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode. If you have not already subscribed, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And you can also check the description box to follow us on all our social media platforms. Yeah, we're going to jump right in. Kicking it off with Traitors, you guys. This week on Traitors, we kind of jump back into the whole debacle, the fallout from Danielle just
going
being
around being
Danielle.
reckless. Right.
Yeah, she was just being so reckless last week. And so we start the episode off with all of the traitors in the little dungeon. Like, what the heck is going on? And Caroline is coming for Danielle's neck. She's like, girl, what are you
doing? Right. She was pissed.
She was so pissed.
She wasn't holding it back for anybody because she said she don't trust Rob either. I wanna kill both of you.
Right.
That's a choice.
Like, that's who I want to murder. Forget anybody else. And I don't blame her because, but I do agree with Danielle said, all this started with Rob. Like, if we would have just all stayed on the same page, even if you would have told us like, hey, I'm coming for Bob the drag queen because he did X, Y, and Z, but it's like you kept us out the loop. And so now Danielle following suit and coming for Caroline, but it didn't make sense.
No. And then she's not as smooth as Rob. So like it looks obvious that she's like something's up.
She went to too many people.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's all coming back to Caroline, and she's had it up to here. So they're trying to come to an agreement. They did come to an agreement, and Danielle said she was gonna make it right, but Danielle didn't even get a chance to make it right because as soon as they step out the little dungeon, Caroline starts asking people. But here's what I don't get about that is like the people that she's talking to, she's still finding out information from the previous week.
Right.
So if I told you
not making it clear that she didn't tell me this today. This is like,
yes.
Yeah.
She's not still talking. This is from last week. So I think Caroline is just amped up and she's just like over it anyway. I don't think she even wanted to come to that little truce. I think she was still mad at her. So
yeah. So then they murder Bob H. Mm-hmm. And like honestly, I didn't really understand it because like he ain't been like super competitive and like he didn't like initiate mentioning Rob's name. He was like piggybacking on somebody else. So I don't get it. Like they keep eliminating everybody but Ivar, and Ivar is the main one who's talking about Rob, and they never eliminate him. Like it's weird.
I think Rob didn't want to come directly for Ivar for that reason. He is trying to do a good job at keeping the eyes off of him. So if he goes for the people that says his name the most, then he feels like he's putting a target on his back. And with Boston Rob, he's smart.
But that's how for the that's how for the faithfuls, that's how you stay in the house. You figure out who a traitor is and you keep saying their name because they're not going to eliminate you because it looks obvious.
Exactly. So I think it was a good choice to get rid of Boston Rob because he does, like they say,
Bob H.
Sorry, Bob H. Because he is the head of the faithfuls. Like everybody knows he's a faithful. Nobody is going to deny that. So they're never going to get rid of him. And he's smart. He pays attention. So I think it was good for them to try to get the people who have any radar at all, like out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Wes and Derek decide to team up. And okay, so I got Derek not trusting. Her name is Brittany, right?
Yes.
The girl from. So I get him not trusting her, but like if you need her vote, like you should probably tell her something. Like I don't know how he got that her and Rob would be like aligned. Like I don't know where that energy came from.
I don't know. He said that he saw her like talking to him a lot. And I do think that Brittany is the type to run her mouth. So I feel like Derek is trying to play his cards close to his chest. Like he put the fillers out with the little people. And even when he was telling Ivar, he was like, remember what you said? Remember what you said? So he's trying to make sure that the idea is not coming from him.
Yeah.
Just Rob stays, which he did. He doesn't want people to be able to say he was leading the charge. So I think that's why he was trying to like play it safe with Brittany, and he did cover. I think he covered it for himself well by saying like, you hang out with him a lot. If I'm coming for him, like, why would I tell him? But she's the type to like get vengeance and feel like, oh, you kind of put me out there, so I'm coming for you now. But
well, that's what she said. Now she gonna come for Derek,
right?
Which is, I don't know.
It's stupid. I feel like they need to open their eyes. All the girls are just being so naive. Trishelle is working my Trishelle is working my last nerve because she's so naive, and she'll tell anybody who listens what her ideas are.
And she has no discernment. I don't think I don't think she's picked one correct person yet.
No. My intuition is telling me I'm so sorry. Like, she came against her friend. It's like, girl, what game are you playing? Are you not? I feel like the girls are not locked in. And I think they're just too gullible just to believe the people who they trust. It's like, why do you trust these people? What told you that I just don't get it.
And then they all agree with Derek's line of reasoning. And yes, Wes blew it.
He did.
Why on earth would you threaten the whole group and think that they're not going to cut you? Like, that's so
and women stupid. At that.
Right. So, of course, all the girls vote for Wes, and he gets kicked out when they could have gotten RHOP out had he shut his big mouth.
Yep. Like, that's all it took. And that's why Derek was just kind of like, ugh. We were so close. I think he played his hand really well because he was trying, which is difficult to even put anybody's name out there. I think that's why he didn't do it last week, because he had to try to see like, okay, is anybody talking about him? Is it going his way at all? Because he can't just put his neck on the line and everybody looking at him like, well, he's, because I think with Rob, nobody knows what to do. So they look to him for advice on like, well, who do you think? Who do you think?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
And now Brittany's talking about Derek is a traitor because
he said she was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's stupid. You obviously know that he's not a traitor if he thinks you are, because he would know who the traitors are. If he was a traitor, he wouldn't be accusing you. And you're a faithful.
She's an emotional player. All the women pretty much are emotional players. I don't think I feel like Robin was the only one who had her head in the game. And unfortunately, she ain't there no more. But
she wasn't a good decision maker either.
She was not a good decision maker, but she was at least trying. Like, I feel like all the other girls are just kind of like, yeah. And then the other girl, she doesn't trust herself.
Was it? She looked. I don't know. She was like an ice skater. She looked like an ice skater to me. But I know.
Yeah. With the ponytail. Yeah, she seems like a very sweet soul. I don't know why I get that from her, but yeah, she doesn't trust her intuition. Like, she be on to stuff, but she just doesn't trust herself.
Is her name like Allie or something like that?
I cannot pin her name right now.
Hold on,
Allie. No, I don't know. It might start with an A.
Gabby.
Yes, Gabby. Yeah. So I think she doesn't trust herself, but they all trust Rob for whatever reason. And I don't know. I just feel like next week we're gonna have to see how Derek kind of finagles. Because to me, if I was there, I would be like, well, wow, okay. So if Wes wasn't and Rob was going so hard for Wes, and he was so sure about Boston Rob, maybe he was trying to get Wes, like, like, try to put the pieces together. Like, why was he going so hard for him?
Right. If he's a faithful, and does he say he's a faithful? I feel like I never hear Rob say he's a faithful.
Only when it comes to the round table, I heard him say like, I am a faithful, because somebody's like, he's like, I'm not a traitor, I'm a faithful. But he doesn't go around saying it. I don't know. And Danielle, she just a deer in the head. Like, she's going to have to explain herself again to Rob because she went with Derek, which I think was a good choice, to be honest, because she when Derek first came, they're like, we're with each other. And she went against him.
Already. But it was annoying to me, too, that Dolores and Carolyn threw away their votes. Like, nobody's voting for Tom and nobody's voting for Danielle. They were not even really a real topic. Like, if y'all would have just went with Rob, Right, like even Caroline, like you already said you wanted to kill Rob, so why not vote for him if everybody is trying to vote him out?
Because her MO was to get eyes on Danielle because she want the both of them gone. So she I don't care. I'm putting her name on the table. That's why I'm like, they're just being too emotional. Y'all are forgetting that this is a strategic game. Like, get out of your heart and out of your, whatever. And get
because then if Caroline would have voted for Rob, it would have at least been a tie.
Right.
Wes could have said, you know what? I'm an idiot. I'm not coming for you guys. I'm sorry. I was just pissed.
Wes is a villain. He's not gonna he doesn't back down. And that's why he doesn't really win like I feel like that's why he didn't win House of Villains. Because he's once he's sets the tone for something, he sticks with it. So
but he did do better on House of Villains with going under the radar because he didn't bring out his villain side until the last episode. He skated the whole time.
And I think on House of Villains too, he figured out that it was easy to be a puppet master in there. You're dealing with less people and a different type of like game strategy. I guess it was more a social game.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on over to Potomac. We're not talking about Huntsville. We're gonna talk about Huntsville on Thursday, y'all. I forgot it came on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just went ahead and moved it to Thursday so that we can really get into it.
Right. Because I only saw Carlos throwing shade. I tried to watch it a little bit, but yeah, I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. So Potomac, we start off with Ashley at her house throwing a party for her auntie. Child, it was weird. Like everybody's singing their praises about her little young tender, and auntie is not having it. She said, "Girl, you need to get to know you. Okay, stop trying to find you a little man and figure out who you are."
And I completely agree. Like, girl, you need to figure out why you waited so long to finalize this divorce,
right?
And cleanse yourself from that before you move on to this little boy. Like,
right. So then this conversation sparks her to decide to break out in song, and child, she needs to let that song go because it sounds stupid.
Even her mom was like,
I know, everybody was like, girl, please.
Because I'm healing and thriving. Girl, shut up. We get it. You need to do more healing. Are you healing? Are you really healing?
She needs some vocal coaching and some more a better producer, because who's producing these kitty bop songs? It sound like
that's what it's giving. I was about to say, like, what is that whole tone? It's just like very kids bop, like,
yeah.
And she just be two-stepping off fast. Terrible.
Yeah, no.
So then Giselle and her daughters go to plant a tree for her dad, the Christmas tree, because that was their thing. I thought that was a sweet moment. But her and her daughters are all very clumsy. I thought that was so funny. Like the whole little scene, they tripping over each other, like trying to figure it out.
Nobody's ever used a shovel. Like you put it in the dirt and then you step on the top so it could go in. Like
he said, I'm gonna have my people go and put that in there.
Right. After you took it out the pot, now the roots is getting all dry. That little Christmas tree about to be dead.
It was a disaster, but I thought it was a cute little moment and funny. So then we have Wendy going to the White House.
That was good for her.
Yeah, that was really, really good for her. Like a big deal, because that's what she said she wanted to do with her podcast last year, was have big people on there. I love that her children got to go and her husband. He's such a great support to her.
Yeah, I wonder why. Like, I mean, I guess everybody's relationship is not the same, but like, it's sad that like she's the only one that really has like a supportive husband who's like really trying to be in it. Because like Ray don't even want to be in it with Karen,
right?
And like Kiana's man. Freaking Stacy is paying for a man.
Right.
Giselle ain't got one.
Right.
So it's like, dang.
Shout out to Happy Eddie.
Right. He the only one that's really showing up and showing that he really love her, because no matter what, he right there smiling.
And you know that man loved her because he disowned his own family for her.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like,
But
they locked
listen,
in.
when you get married,
That's how it's supposed to be.
right.
If they can't get with the program and this is the woman that he chose
Mm-hmm.
her for a reason and they're locked in. I'm glad things seem to be turning around, at least with his siblings.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Eddie is all right with me.
Right. Listen, he all right with me too.
Yeah. So
Shit.
Karen goes to the White House with Wendy. She still doesn't know. Wendy still doesn't know about the things that Karen allegedly said about her. So then we get to Stacy's event, which is the main event.
With that terrible wig. I don't know why on earth she would do that. First of all, what kind of brassy, nasty blonde is that? Like, that ain't even DC brown. Like, that was DC blonde. Like, it was
It
terrible.
was terrible. And here's the thing:
And it looked synthetic.
She
Like,
came in with very synthetic.
it
Or
looked
did
like
they
a
put
shake and
mousse?
go. No, it looked like one of them shake and go synthetic ones that come in like the little net, the
In
little
the pack.
fishnet. Yeah.
Yeah. She walked in with her black wig on. I hate that wig too because she puts it behind the hairline, and then it's always like just this little bunch of hair that just sits right there, and you can see the separation fully. I don't understand.
She's definitely serving season 1. She needs to.
Yeah,
She needs
and
to.
nobody, and it doesn't seem like anybody stepped in to help her because somebody should have said, "Hey, girl."
Well, look, Karen definitely came for her because she was definitely talking about all your outfits is terrible. You always look tacky.
Tacky. It is true. Even TJ walked up to her, or she said, "Do you like my hair?" He said, "Well, he said, if you love it, I do. If you
Right.
like
I like it if you love it.
If somebody
Yeah.
says, if I like it, if you like it, I love it, that means they hate it.
Right. That means, listen, I don't want to hurt your feelings now, okay? Don't be asking me questions you don't want to know the answers to.
Exactly. And that's what PJ is a very interesting character. Like
He's
the way
very jealous.
Very jealous. Like the fact that first of all, I had no idea that this was supposed to be their event.
I didn't either. I thought that he was just helping the co-host.
Right. And he made sure that he said, yeah, it was our event, you and I. Like he said it a couple times. And then the way that he pressed her friend when he came, it was like, we need to be on the same team. And,
right. That was so weird. Like, why are we talking about teams? Like, who's fighting?
I wonder if word got back to him about what he said, like, you could do better, he's corny. Because production can be messy and let things slip. So I wonder because I'm like, where did that come from?
But my thing too is like, why doesn't he know how these events go? Like he's sitting, when she's like talking to the girls and they go up to change, they pan over to him and he's like pouting over by the stage. Like
he's not built for this, especially if allegedly we found out in the media, they're saying that she hired him.
Right.
Right. So we'll see if that is what it really was when the reunion comes out. But if you're being hired, why are you over there pouting? Do your job and stand in the corner. And then when I summon you, you come.
Right. She wasn't behind on payments back then. Okay. You need to do your job. That's probably why she ain't pay you.
Right. You got in your feelings.
Right.
Good job, sir.
Right. But he was not acting loving. Okay.
He did that at Wendy's birthday. Like, well, why, you didn't come and check on me. And it's like, you're a grown adult. We have been around these people several times at this point. Go find the guys.
Right.
Or go look at your cue cards. Like, I'm putting on an event.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you think that I'm finna come and be chasing behind you? He's like, yeah, I'll just be standing here in the corner. And it's like, he's
okay.
Very insecure.
If that's what you want to do, sir, you can also talk to the husbands. They don't know each other like that, but they all sitting at the table chit-chatting.
Right. And he was over there with them at first, but I think he wants to feel important and he wants to like he want to be her man, but I understand why she's not doing that with him if he's hired.
Right.
Because when I'm done with the
she's trying to put on a facade for her husband.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what she said. He's my best friend. He's
right. Yeah, that gets on my nerves too. Because I'm not kissing my best friend in the mouth. You saw them kiss in the mouth. Like, I wonder how much.
And it's different. It's different if you say this is my man and he's my best friend. Because my husband is my best friend. He should your man should be your best friend. But he's your man and your best friend.
Right. No,
Like,
he's just
don't
her
just,
best friend.
yeah. I wouldn't introduce him as my best friend if that's my man. I'm gonna say that's my man and we are best
Right.
friends. Like,
And is he her best friend? Like, not acting like that.
no. The other guy, AJ, seems like he's her best friend.
Yeah, that's her best friend for real.
And he telling her the truth. Like, girl, that is not it. That is not you. I don't know who you are around him. Like, you're not yourself. Like, he pulled all of her cards.
He needs to fall into his place. He is the side nigga, okay? And stop trying to act like you're more, okay? I will bring you and do what I want when I want to.
And that's that on that.
Right. So, yeah. So, Giselle, of course, she got to be petty. So, they show back where they doing the fittings or whatever. Didn't Giselle come in late or something? Because Stacy didn't immediately see her. She was over on the side talking to Karen.
First, Karen and Stacy start talking.
Yeah.
They go to the little booth and basically Karen is telling Stacy like, hey, I don't like what you pulled at the event where you was coming for me, like you was on Mia's side. You're supposed to be my friend. Because they had the whole little debacle of Karen not wanting to participate in the event, and she was letting her know, this is why I feel like you was riding for Mia and you're supposed to be my friend. I don't understand why you were doing that. Stacy basically tries to explain herself, and then they kind of go back and forth, and so
that's when she said she tacky.
Yeah, she called her tacky, and then she said, let me sip what you sipping. And then Stacy tried to come for Karen, basically saying she was drinking alcohol. And Karen was like, what are you drinking? She was like, hard liquor.
And then when she called Stacy's dress tacky, she's like, well, this is whoever their friends is dressed. She was like, well, you look tacky any other time. But honestly, the dress that she had on was tacky.
It wasn't the best. It wasn't. Everybody looked better than her. Yeah. Like, literally. And understandably, this is her new season too, but like, girl, this is the finale. Finales when you bring out your best look. Regardless of what the event is, you bring out your best look because that's the last impression people are going to have of you. And you wore this wig.
Right. She wore that wig, and out of all the dresses in the showroom, she picked that one. Like, why? So this is why I was bringing up Giselle. So she tells Giselle that she can't wear this pink loofah looking dress. And but because she doesn't want anybody to look better than her, yet she doesn't wear the pink loofah looking dress. So Giselle buys the dress and wears it to the thing. What's a cute dress? It was all right, but
Giselle didn't even. The crazy part is, I watched What Happens Live, and Giselle said she didn't even want the dress. She just did that to spite Stacy. And Wendy actually really liked the dress. So after the event, she gave the dress to Wendy.
Yeah, I'm like, the loofah thing has been done. Like,
yeah, over it. Yeah. But whose dress did I really like? Wendy's. Wendy's both her looks were good. Like the white one and the red one.
I don't remember the red one.
The red one is when she came out and they did the dog.
Yeah.
Yes, it was perfectly tailored. It was so beautiful. That red on her dark skin. I mean, it was just, she always eats it up, but that red was amazing. Karen looked really good too.
Yeah, no, I liked Karen's red dress. Yeah, and how she had her hair. She looked very sophisticated, very, very classy.
And she came in with the shades. She had the gloves. Like, her look was just chef's kiss. Yeah. Actually, I don't understand wearing that short bob with the little. And then why was it dangling in the back?
I don't know. And then she took the wig off and put on a different wig for walking down the runway. Like, what is that?
Okay. Now she must have got that wig from Stacy, because that definitely was a beauty supply wig. She shook it out the pack and put it on her head. Like, I didn't understand.
Listen. So I don't expect anything different from Ashley though, because what was the armor? I don't understand the armor dress. Like, how did that go with a dog fundraiser?
I think she just wanted to wear the dress. I was confused as well. I said, "Oh, okay." I don't know. I wouldn't have worn that here, but okay.
She thought she ate too. Like,
she had the slick back. The look wasn't bad, but it just wasn't. Like, okay, wear that on a red carpet maybe for something.
But I feel like we've seen that look on somebody else. Like, the hair, the dress, like everything. Like, it's not new. Like,
it's not. We have definitely seen. I don't know, somebody wore it. We've definitely seen that armored box before.
Yeah.
So Kate, okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say what you were gonna say.
Yeah, so Kate kind of mentions that she's taking a step back from her relationship, which I think she should. I mean, we talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't want mean to jump, but in the ending credits, they kind of say that they moved into their new house and then she moved out, but she's still waiting on the ring. And I'm like, if y'all couldn't live together,
Yeah,
why
I don't
would you
get
want
it.
to marry him?
I feel like she just staying because of the time that she put in, but I think she needs to cut her losses.
3 years is not that long. It hasn't even been 3 years because she said by the third year is when she wants the ring. It's only been 2 years.
But they don't really like each other like that.
No.
Like, why would you want to marry a man you can't even live with? Like, do you think that it's going to be different? I don't think that it's going to be different. Only way I can see their relationship being different is if she quits the show, because that's his biggest gripe.
Right. But
I
even
feel like even if she quits, I feel like he's gonna find something else. He's never gonna be content, because like she's not having you on filming. Like, you only filmed what, like maybe 2 or 3 scenes. Like, I don't get it.
I feel like seems like a more traditional guy and she's not a traditional girl, and I feel like he should know that about her.
Right.
And to have the expectation for her to do these things when she was already who she was when you met her, I just feel like he has unrealistic expectations for her. Like, he wants her to come in and be this Stepford wife. And it's like, no, I'm not doing that.
Or be all about him and his business.
Exactly. All about him. Like, you know. So I think she needs to move on. Hopefully she does, because wanting a ring when you can't live with that person is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, no. She needs to let it go. But we said this last week. She don't like him.
Right. So then Ashley talks to Giselle about what Stacy spoke to her about, saying that Wendy is self-absorbed. And Ashley puts a little extra sauce on it, saying that
Ashley said how she felt about Wendy. She didn't say what Karen said.
She did not. Even production put a little note up there saying, like, basically saying, like, that is not what was said.
Right. Like,
she did not say she was like the plague or any of those things. That's not what Stacy said. But Stacy was not shy. No, everybody came to the table to talk about it. And she said what she said. She's like, Karen, you said. And then Karen tried to act like. But that's
the good thing about Stacy. Like, if she says it, she's not backing down.
Exactly. And she had receipts. I love that she recollects everything, because she was like, we went to this restaurant.
Right.
It was your favorite restaurant. Because at first Karen was like, that did not happen. That was not the conversation. That didn't happen. But as soon as she said we went to your favorite restaurant and confirmed the name of it, everybody knew it was true, because that's where Karen takes people.
Right. Giselle knew. She was like, the whatever it's called,
the hop something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this season she took Giselle there too.
Dippity.
Yeah. So they basically come to the table to talk about it, and Stacy's like, "This is what was said," and Wendy's kind of like playing it off at the time, but she clocked it.
Her feelings was hurt.
Yeah,
her feelings. After that, she would not stop talking about. Oh, I'm so I can't move my cape. You can't sit next to me because I'm so self-absorbed. Yeah, her feelings was hurt, and rightfully so. Like, she literally just took this lady to the White House, and she finds out that she been talking mess about her behind her back.
And it's crazy. Show all the clips.
I know, and it's crazy because I guess Giselle has said that she's been saying it, and it's like, okay, so now Wendy is in your face. It's not just me saying that this is what's being said.
Yeah,
somebody else who has no reason to she don't got no beef with you. She until recently she didn't have no beef with Karen. Like, we're saying the same thing. Like, what are you gonna do? So now, based on that interaction, I think at the reunion she is talking about Karen and her not really being her friend. Yeah, she probably went home and sat in it and was like, you know what? She probably is.
Yeah, she went back and clocked everything, because Karen didn't really, I mean, she denied it a little bit, but then once she said we went to that restaurant, she said, oh, yeah, we did go there. And, you know, she also said what she said about Mia. Mia's not surprised. She said that to Mia's face. Mia doesn't care. But like you said, I think Wendy really was hurt. And if I was Wendy, I would be hurt too because she rides for her. She doesn't let anybody talk bad about Karen, whether she's present or not present. And when you're that good of a friend to someone, it's hurtful.
Yeah.
So that was messed up. And I believe Karen said it.
Yeah, I do too.
So
like at first we was talking about, oh, well, maybe she likes to look nice and da-da-da-da, but no, maybe she do think that she's self-absorbed and, you know, all those things that she said.
And she probably doesn't like Karen doesn't like when spotlight gets on anyone else. And we kind of talked about this before. Like Wendy is the housewife this year because she has everything that we look for in the housewife. You know, she's got a good relationship with her husband. She's moving in her business world. She's doing big things on different platforms. Like she's good with the girls. Like she's really stepping into that role, and maybe Karen is hating a little bit.
And she looks good this season.
Exactly. Like she's hitting all the marks as a housewife. So maybe that kind of puts Karen in a different place, and she felt like she needed to shoot her down a little bit to keep Stacy on her side, which is like, why do you have to have sides with your friend? Like that's weird.
Yeah.
So then we get to the whole fashion show of it all. They do their little walks and stuff. Child, at the end of it.
Last week I thought that they just didn't walk the dogs, but no. I would not be paying them event planners.
Yeah.
Why would y'all do the smoke?
Because when you said they didn't walk the dogs, I was thinking about that as I was watching. I'm like, well, they did. They had the dogs outside the entire time.
Yeah.
What happened is they scared the bejesus out the dogs.
Right.
Well, all that smoke and sound and stuff. And the lady was wrong because she said, yeah, we're going to do confetti. She didn't say nothing about smoke.
Right. And they didn't even do no confetti. They just did that stupid smoke.
The confetti did not happen. Nobody communicated that to anyone. And it's like, you can't startle a bunch of dogs like that.
Right.
And so everybody
already are not comfortable. They don't know any of these people.
And they're rescue dogs. They're already traumatized from whatever happened. Like, child, it was a mess.
Yeah, and they would definitely be giving me some money back because you ruined my event.
Yeah.
Had Karen in the trash can. Lord,
she was dramatic. She was not throwing it. It was doo-doo everywhere, though. It was doo-doo everywhere. Oh my God! And then you see somebody with the Febreze, like, oh my God,
the Febreze and the Clorox wipes, like
cleaning up with Clorox wipes. So then everything wraps up. They do their little exit scene. So next week we have the reunion. They give us a little snippet of Karen going to her trial date. We do know Karen was convicted of the I don't know if she got acquitted of any of her charges.
No, she got convicted of everything.
Yeah, and so her sentencing is scheduled for February. So they give us that little, thing.
But this is before she went to rehab. Now it's postponed. We don't know when she getting sentenced.
Oh, because I thought it was the end of January. So they must.
So maybe it is. That is the new date.
Yeah, because originally
it was like January 26th or something like that, right?
Yes, that was the original date. So okay, so that makes sense. Because I was like, why did they push it for the rehab? Okay. Yeah, so we'll see. Next week is it going to be next week? Probably not because of the Super Bowl. They might.
Yeah, no. I don't know if it'll come on next week.
It might be the following week. So we'll see what
if it don't come on. If we don't have no Bravo shows next week, we'll just go live and chit chat.
Yeah, I was gonna say we won't be here. Yeah, so we have to see. We'll have to check the listing. So make sure you guys check our Instagram to see if we're gonna be posting or going live or whatever, because we have to see what's going to be aired. So I'm excited for the reunion, child. We'll see. It's a lot to discuss.
And child's Karen on there looking pathetic. Like
she had to look like she was going through it. She couldn't be all dolled up.
I mean, but like she just looks sad. Like, well, I guess she ain't got no glamour rehab. I get it. Okay.
And She is facing a conviction. She could go to jail for 2 years.
Listen, if I was going to jail for 2 years, I bet you I'll wear all my good wigs every single chance I can get before I go to jail, because I'm gonna be looking like Cleo from Set It Off for the next 2 years.
And then for me, it's the embarrassment of it all. Like, I just want to know, what is she even going to say? Because we haven't heard from her on social media or anything. So it's just the embarrassment of, like, I wonder, did she even watch the videos?
Like, but I don't think she's gonna take accountability. Like, even though now everybody sees it, I just don't see Karen taking accountability, because she rarely does. Like, when even with the whole like Wendy thing, like even when she got caught out for talking about her behind her back, she didn't say, "Hey Wendy, I'm so sorry. Maybe I did say something. I didn't really mean it though." Like,
right.
But she didn't say nothing. She was just like, "Oh yeah, we did meet," and that was the end of it.
No, I agree. I think she's going to take the sympathy route. I think she's going to be like, I'm going through the process, and I'm just praying every day for the best outcome. And I think she's going to take the sympathy route, and it's going to be very short. I don't think she's going to go through any questioning or anything like that. So we shall see. We will be watching. I kind of wanted to do like but I want to enjoy the episode also. But you know how you can like watch live and like discuss stuff like that. But yeah,
I mean, that would be fun. Let us know in the comments if you would do that. If you'd watch, if we do a live with
if we did together, yeah. Okay, yeah. So let us know. So we're gonna move on to Married to Medicine, y'all.
Yeah,
it was a
mess. Listen,
it was a mess.
Right.
So we're already at the resort. I just did want to mention, like, Heavenly, I do think Heavenly was being shady, but her reasoning kind of made sense to me as to why she was inviting Apollo. I think she had like a good, like,
tell us, because I don't remember what her reason
cover story. So basically she was letting Simone know, like, hey, Apollo is coming. She's like, what, does Phaedra know? She's like, yeah, she knows. She was like, she is here alone. She was like, I did think Apollo was bringing his wife, but he's not, which is interesting because I don't know.
Well, I heard that they getting a divorce because that's like hitting her and all kind of stuff.
And then I was kind of like, I don't know if he would want her to be on TV again, like, because she's real loose lip, like, yeah. So I don't know, but so yeah, she was basically letting Simone know what's going on. And she was like, well, what's your goal in this? And she was just like, well, they're divorced. They've been through a lot. And now they are co-parenting well, and they seem to be in a good place. So I think that would be some good insight for them to share with the group, being that we have Quad and Greg here, who they don't need to co-parent, but they can
at least be cordial
in the same group. And she was like, I think it would be a good example of how you can go through things and come full circle. So yeah, she put that together. I still think it was messy, but I like how she put that together.
Yeah, she wrapped it up good. But listen, do we really believe that they have the relationship Phaedra is saying that they have? Because I mean, on the next episode, we see they arguing because Apollo is asking her about her date.
Now, here's the thing. Now, we're going to get into this when we talk about like Greg and stuff. But the thing with men is, because Greg and Apollo, the same. They both have moved on and married other women, but they have not had to physically see their ex-wives with men in their face. With most men, they can dish it, but they cannot take it.
Yeah.
And so I think once Apollo saw the guy, the fact that he knows the guy, he was like, hell no.
Yeah.
And so I think this, and I won't talk about Greg because we'll get into that once we get into the thing. But I think that's kind of what that was.
Yeah.
I think they're probably cool within parameters of like, the kids got this going on. I'm gonna pick up the kids this day. I think
it's very like
surface.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's what's best, what should be best for them, because they have a lot of history. And if they got too close or too deep with that, they wouldn't be able to function. So I think keeping it surface level. So that's why I don't think Phaedra should have been like, yeah, let him come. But she also probably wants to give him an opportunity to do his thing so he can make more money and for her kids. So.
Right. Yeah, she don't care. Yeah. It's just that they're the same. The relationships with Greg and Quad and Apollo and Phaedra are the same. The girls don't care, the guys do.
That part. And it was very clear. It was very, very clear. So Phaedra decides to bring her guy that she just met, probably went on 2 or 3 dates with, to the vacation, which I'm not mad at her, actually, because
it was good TV.
It was great TV.
Because they was over there talking mess about all the couples.
That's why I said I'm not mad at her, because their relationship is new, it's fresh, it's light. Who cares? We're on vacation. They're not sharing a room. She gets to have somebody there to kiki with and have a good time. Right. Shoot, the girls on TikTok say they could be going on first dates out the country. Now, I don't know if I would suggest that, but I do understand within the scope of what's going on why Phaedra did that. She like, child, I don't want to be alone. I was alone last year and it was not fun.
Right.
So I ain't mad at her, but everybody is shocked by her walk up. They didn't know he was coming. Of course, Heavenly being shady. And it is what it is. Always going to be that way. So then they get into the game. Now, I don't even know why Simone would allow Heavenly to head up this game when we see what happened years ago.
Yeah. Well, I think that's Heavenly's signature. That game is what Heavenly knows.
And you know where it started? The mess started with the seating chart.
Mm-hmm. Right. Why would you put them right together?
And not even just that, but he's behind them. Mm-hmm. Greg is behind them, so he has to see everything that they're doing. Yeah. Every kiss, every touch, every kiki is just right in front of their face. So I'm just like, that was just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. So yeah, and then so they're asking them how many times do they have sex and all these questions, and you could just see the longer they ask questions, Greg is just getting more and more and more uncomfortable.
He was boiling.
Right. So T and Greg say that they only have sex 2 times a week. So Quad's comment is, y'all need to be having more sex than that. Y'all need to be having babies. We need a baby Lutzford or whatever she said.
Yeah.
and Greg, of course, he don't want no comments on her, and that just started everything. The whole comment about the babies and Quad putting a 10 on it about how her and King have sex 15 times a week, multiple times a day, and she would love to have his babies and da. So listen, by this point, I was wondering why Quad was acting like this. I didn't realize she was drunk. I didn't see her drink all them rum punches, but apparently she had about 7 of them.
Yeah, she was sipping the entire time. I saw her progression of, her making little comments here and there. Then when she said, throw it in a circle, I said, okay, she is lit. She is lit. She don't care no more. She started off in a chair. She ended up on King's lap. Mm-hmm. Like her headband done pushed back. She starts sweating. I said, oh, my girl is lit. And she's saying whatever comes to mind. And so
probably had to drink that much to cope. Because even though she's over him, it is awkward to be around him. Like, they had a tumultuous ending. Like, it was not a good thing. So
he was allegedly abusive to her. So like to even be in his presence, and then I know it's triggering for her when he like raised his voice at T.
Right.
And T was trying to compose herself. T was trying to be cool at first, and she was like, yeah, girl, we be getting it in. Like I feel like T was trying to be cool. And then she said something, and then Quad kind of tried to check her about what she said.
Yeah.
And then Greg and Quad start going back and forth, and then T jumps in to defend him, and he's mad at her because he's like, I didn't ask you to do that. But it's like, at the end of the day, she's like, you know me. Like, I'm not going to sit here and let nobody, especially your ex-wife.
Right.
I'm not about to let nobody come at you in my presence. Like, that's just not going to happen. And he's kind of like trying to police her and like, you need to stop. And I agree, she should have like kind of backed down a little bit. But the way he was like yelling in her face and stuff like that, everybody was uncomfortable. Phaedra and her man was over there like, Phaedra like, child, that's her ex-husband.
Yeah. I know.
To bring them up to speed.
But what stuck out to me though is like it kind of showed like a crack between King and Quad because if you notice after everything went down, King was like, yeah, Quad, she keeps bringing all this trauma into our relationship. Like, yeah, granted, we'll go back, she'll apologize, whatever. But like, it's still trauma that she's bringing into our relationship that she's not over.
Right.
So like, it's, it hurts us because she's not letting it go.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I think that was good. It's very transparent of him to share that. It don't seem like he running away from it, but it does seem like it is something that he has acknowledged, and like he said, they talked about it, and she will talk about it, and she will apologize for it, and she's something that she's actively working on. So I think it was hopefully
good, because I think if she's not actively working on it, it could cause a rift in their relationship, because who wants to keep getting trauma dumped on them that has nothing to do with them,
Right. But what I'm saying is the way he presented it, I think he presented it in a way that wasn't throwing her under the bus.
No, I agree. He said it with compassion.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I was saying. I like the way that he kind of like presented it, because he didn't just leave her out there and like just kind of like throw her under the bus. So he seems like a very mature guy, and he's willing to work with her. So I hope, like you were saying, I hope that she does continue to actively work on it, because a man can only take so much. And with being on this show, it doesn't put them in the best position, because she's forced to be around him. And it's going to cause more drama that then seeps into their relationship. Like, they've been in this bubble, like they've had a beautiful relationship, but now they are forced to be in an uncomfortable situation that's going to cause more drama that they didn't have before.
Right.
So it's going to really be telling of, the things that they could do. So we'll see. But yeah, she was toe up.
Yeah. So then T and Greg go back to their room and argues a little bit more. And Greg has to walk off because he's like, he needs to cool down. So I didn't get this. Like, and maybe it's because I'm not married, but the man said he needed space. He needed to go walk. Like, why are you calling him back to back, walking around looking for him? Like, just let him have his moment. Like, I didn't get that.
No, she should have absolutely left him alone. I was saying the same thing. If he asked for space, give him space. Right. Like, he didn't just leave and not tell you anything. He said that he needed space. Give the man space. So I think she should have just. It's okay to say because I forgot who she told to go check on him.
Yeah, I think it was Dr. Damon. That's Contessa's husband.
Contessa's husband? I forget his name. Scott.
Oh, Dr. Scott.
So I think it's okay to send a friend to go check on him, make sure he's okay, because we've all been drinking. We're in a foreign country, whatever. Right. But she should not have been calling him back to back. Girl, leave him alone. He's upset. Right.
I agree. Send a friend, because he's not upset with the friend. He's upset with you. Let him have his moment.
Right. Now, do I think he should have got that upset with her? No.
Like, but honestly, like, that's a glimpse into what Quad has been dealing with, like, or was dealing with.
And I think all the anger that he had towards Quad, he took out on T. Because what he's really mad at is that, like we talked about before, he hasn't had to see this in his face. He was the one who had a relationship and moved on and married someone. She's been by herself. He's never had to see her with the man. Now she's with the man. When they were married, he wanted to have a baby so bad. She refused to have a baby with him because of the trauma. It was not a safe space for her to bring a child into. Right. Now she's with this man who makes her feel completely safe, comfortable, to where she's willing to have his baby tomorrow.
Right.
And so now he is forced to sit and watch this. And Toya is trying to tell T, like, listen, this man up here with his pecs out, they jump every time he moves. He's badly in love with him. They're kissing every 5 minutes, and he is looking at this. She's talking about how much she want to have his babies. Like, he is pissed. And she's like, no, I don't think that's it. He just doesn't like the drama. Like, girl, no, she's hurt.
She thinks that Quad is jealous of them, but I don't know why she doesn't understand that Quad is the one who let him go. Yeah. Why would she be jealous? You have nothing that she has not already had.
and that's why Quad said they're perfect for each other, because Quad feels that T can be controlled. and she wants to rely on him in the way that he wants her to. And everything that she wanted, that Greg wanted Quad to do, T is willing to do. So that's why she's like, good for y'all.
Right.
I love it. I'm happy that y'all found each other. And we know it was already evident in his actions that he was feeling some type of way. But when he said, she done found her man, you know, I'm happy she done found her man and we just gonna let her move on. It's like, oh,
right.
Okay. If I was T, I'd have been like, okay, yeah, so you are mad about that.
So you do feel a certain type of way. Because why do you need to say that? Who asked you for permission to move on?
So yeah, I think that's why his blood was really boiling, because he's never had to see her happy. He was happy that in his mind, she was miserable this entire time without him.
Mm-hmm.
So to see her happy and to see her with her man and enjoying herself, but I think they both were triggered. So that was evident.
Yeah. It was a good show though.
It was good.
Wait to see this next episode. You think that's the episode they're gonna be fighting on the beach?
It gotta be, because I think Scott or Simone's husband says, so about last night.
Right.
So
but I feel like they did like the trailer thing. That's why I'm like,
well, the whole Bridgerton thing has to be after they get back. So we know that's not gonna happen next.
Mm-hmm.
The fight is at the beach while they're on vacation. And then he says, remember what happened last night. So we should be able to see the fight in this next episode, unless they just really drag that day out.
Right. Well, that's why I'm curious, because like King and Greg didn't really get into it. Like the whole time him and Quad was going back and forth, King didn't say anything.
Here's my theory. Greg said something to Quad, because just from what we've learned about King, he seems very cool-headed, very level-headed.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't bust a peep while they went back and forth at that little beach party.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Greg is gonna say something out of line to Quad, and then because it looked like he just took off out of nowhere. So I think that's my theory. Because I don't think I don't know. It doesn't give that he would just engage with him like that. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he do say something to piss him off, but just the positioning of where he ran from, it was like he was over here and Quad was standing right there. So I'm like, there's some sideways. And
but then I can't wait till next week, because I'm trying to figure out why Tisha is so pissed, because Quad defended herself or King went to defend Quad. I don't get it.
My theory. I feel like what's going to happen is Greg is going to say something to Quad. King is going to take off. Quad is going to try to run after King and get him off. She going to be talking crazy, she might be trying to fight with her man. T don't know what's going on because she's walking the beach with Phaedra. So all she sees is commotion. So she going to run over and try to jump in too. So then maybe T and Quad, because you know when your man fight and you go over there, then the girls start fighting. So I feel like it's probably gonna be like that type of situation.
Yeah.
So, but T been waiting.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a Letitia Aikisha situation.
Yeah.
Because
the way they was hovering around T, like, okay, what she try to do? Did she try to drop kick her? Like what happened?
Right.
So we'll see next. Well, I don't know. I have to check the listings to see if they're going to show this stuff, because the Super Bowl is next week, and usually when that happens, people don't like to post the shows because of the ratings will be lower. So
let me see. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Hold on. So next week, let's see.
I tried to watch The Bachelor today.
Yeah, no, it says Married to Medicine is not coming on again until February 16th. So that's not this Sunday, but next Sunday.
Yeah. So we'll have a week break, but we might come on live if we have anything else to talk about. Maybe something in the media will happen.
Yeah.
And we can come and go live with you guys. But yeah. Do you watch you don't watch The Bachelor?
No, definitely not.
I never watched The Bachelor because they have a black bachelor. I'm trying to get into it, but I don't have my Hulu. I have to watch commercials, and I just don't want to watch commercials. I forgot we were still recording. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you. If we don't see y'all on Tuesday, we will see y'all on Friday.
Bye.